Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whenever you are finding the time to watch this video. I thank you for coming back to my channel. Today, I am going to do, hopefully, a quick tutorial on how to use your Cricut to cut out die cuts. I know die cuts are like the big thing right now in the planner community, and I know some people have Cricuts and they're not sure how to use it to do that. And I figured I would make a very quick tutorial. Hopefully this is quick on how to do that. So if you have a Cricut, you should be very familiar with this space. This is our the Cricut design space, as you can tell right there, Cricut design space. And so what you do is you would come to this page here, okay? You are going to want, so this is a new page. You're going to want to go to upload. Okay, when you go to upload, it's going to take you here. As you can see, I've been playing around with some images. Some I found on Pinterest, some I have purchased through different Etsy shops, and some I have just found they have been freebies in various different Facebook groups. So if you're in the planner community, definitely, join those groups, be a part of the groups, because a lot of the Etsy shop owners, they have the groups, and yes, they make great products for us to buy, or stickers or die cuts for us to buy. But they often, because they love us as their customers, they often will give us freebies, okay? Such as the Honeybee Shop. These two are from her. So if you're familiar with her, great images, and she's very inclusive when it comes to skin tones and hair textures, as far as trying to make it, match the planner girl. These are from, I forgot. I will link her below. I just joined her group, but these were two freebies from there. So that's what I'm saying, join those groups. I actually found this bow on Pinterest. So, but anyway, to get back on how to upload these images and then get them in your design space and to do a die cut, I am going to show you how to do that. So you would go over to upload, and I'm going to try to, you're in upload, so you're going to go upload image, okay? Here, now this is where you can either drag and drop a file, or you can browse. Keep in mind your image needs to be PNG, JPEG, GIF, SVG, DXF, or BMP. Now, if you guys know something that I don't know, please comment below and let me in on it, because I have not been able to use a PDF. I'm pretty sure you can convert a PDF to any of these, but so far I've only been able to use these types of images in order to put them in my design space and cut them out. So, for example, if you want to drag and drop, let's try that first. So I like to just keep things, on my desktop. I'll save it there, and then you literally can take the image, okay, and drag it. Now let's make this screen back bigger. Now it's giving you the image here. It's going to say select image type. Of course, you can use, whichever of the three options you prefer. I often, I use the complex one because it helps pick up any of the rich colors or blended colors for my image to really, pop the color. So you have the image here. You're going to pick your image type over here, and then you're going to go over to continue. Now, when you hit continue, of course, now you just have your image by itself. So this is where things can get a little tricky. And I recently just figured this out for myself. You have these three options here as to how to get rid of all this extra white space. Okay. So what I was doing, which was taking a lot of time, is that I was using the erase, and you can make this circle here. You see, it'll erase. So once you see that blue and white, that means that little strip has been erased. You can change this to a bigger circle, and do that. So I was doing that at first, but then I was running into the issue of it cutting into my image. So you can undo. So you have an undo button here, undo button there. What I learned, if I hit the select and erase, if I just go to that white space area and click on it, all of that is gone. So now I am left with my image, okay? You can do some advanced options if you prefer. I have not messed around with that. I have not needed to, but that is another way of cutting all of that extra white space. And then also you have this here, this crop area, where you basically can do this and highlight your image, and then it'll, you know, it'll size it, you know, it'll cut it down to however you want it, and you can still go back here and then just click on that white space area. So this crop and this crop option may be good for if you have like multiple images together and maybe you just want to single one out versus having all images appear in your design space. So let's just go back as an easy way that I've been doing it, and that's just to hit the select and erase and then click on that white space and then go down to continue. All right, so now we have our image. As you can see, this is what the image is going to cut like. This is, of course, your image. I always do save as a print then cut image because I want to print all these pretty colors and I want the whole image. I don't just want the outline of the image, okay? Here is where you can also change the name. You can add any tags and so forth if you prefer. You know, that's your decision. And then I'm going to go over to save. Now, when I hit save, and I'm saving it as a print and then cut image, now it's going to show up amongst all of my other uploads that I have, right? So what I want to do then, I want to click on my images that I want to then bring into my design space. So let's say I want to do this image and I want to have my fall girl from the honeybee shop. I want those images to be on my design space. So once I click on them, I'm then going to see them pop up at the bottom here. I'm going to go over to insert images. If you give it a second, both of your images are going to appear then in your design space, okay? So you have your cup, and then you have this beautiful fall girl. If you pull out a little bit as far as the zoom in and zoom out options, you know, you can see everything with the size that you want it as. Once I click on this, if you hit, let me zoom in a little bit. If you hit the unlock button, this is where you can then go up here to your width and your height and then change, you know, the sizing that you may want it. So let's say I want to bring her down. I'm going to unlock the image, go back up to my width, and let's say I want to change that to 2 inches, let's say by 4. Okay, so now she's down, you know, and that's a nice size or whatever. So I have my 2 images. Sorry about the shakiness, guys. I have my 2 images in my design space. I have them the width and the height that I want them at. Check over here. It's going to be a print. That's what the little printer stands for. You know, if you click on your image, it'll give you options as to how you may want to change that, because I'm printing and cutting. Okay, so I have my 2 images that I want to use as die cuts. Of course, you know, if it's a die cut or whatever, you're using it as a sticker, you can then, you know, change the size, like I said. But I just want to leave them that way. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to go over to, and you can save it if you want and create a project for yourself. But I'm going to go over to make it. Once I go to make it, my 2 images are then appearing on my mat. Okay. You can, you know, change the copies that you may want if that's what you prefer. But let's just say I want 1 copy. Okay. So I have my 2 images on my mat. Then you would go over to continue. Then it's going to show up as to where you would find, I don't have my Cricut on right now, but it would give me the option for, you know, if I'm doing Bluetooth or if I'm actually using the USB for my Cricut. So I would pick, you know, whichever one I'm using there. I would send this to my printer. I would print it on cardstock. Here's the printer setup. You can pick, you know, if you have multiple printers in your home. I often turn the bleed option off. If you want it on, of course, you can leave it on. It just gives that extra space around your image. And here I would pick my printer. I would turn my bleed option off, and then I would hit print. So it would print. Then, of course, once you know you've printed it, it's going to give you the option to, it's going to tell you to cut it. That's when you would place your cardstock on your printing mat, on your cutting mat, and place it into your Cricut. So that is a somewhat quick tutorial as to how to print die cuts from the various stores or just images you may find on Pinterest or wherever that you want to use in your planner. Mind you, you can also use the same tutorial to make, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Stickers. So I just wanted to show you guys that it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to thumbs up. And I thank you guys for watching this video. Thanks. Bye.